What's up, you guys? Ross Sapp, managing editor of Fightful.com and FightfulMMA.com, co-host of the Holy Smokes MMA podcast. Of course, we have a UFC 221 post show coming up this Saturday night on Fightful.com, but we have some UFC 222 news right now. Cris Cyborg will now headline the event after Max Holloway has pulled out. She will face Yana Kunitskaya in a featherweight championship match. It was rumored before that UFC was very close to getting Amanda Nunes, Cris Cyborg for Brazil, just following at UFC 224. I guess that could still be the case. There's a 2-month gap there, but it wasn't likely that they were going to get Amanda Nunes for 1 month away. Now, there are a lot of people screaming that this show has been saved now. I won't say that it's been saved necessarily. I don't know that Cyborg versus Kunitskaya is a high-level main event. Cyborg would probably dispose of her pretty quickly. Kunitskaya has 1 win in her last 4 fights, albeit one fight ending kind of controversially, and it was overturned to a no contest. But Cris Cyborg now headlining. Frankie Edgar will now serve as the co-main eventer against Brian T. City Ortega. That is a high-level fight. Also added to this show, Pedro Munoz versus John Dodson, which was supposed to take place in UFC Balaam last weekend. So what looked like a very, very dangerous card as it pertains to a pay-per-view, like they were going to have to maybe move it to Fox Sports 1. I won't say saved, but it's a good card now. It's fair. You got Edgar versus Ortega. That's a hell of a fight. Cyborg defending her championship will draw a few eyeballs regardless. And Munoz versus Dodson is just a good fight. So now you have a pretty solid little show there. I mean, would I consider it pay-per-view quality? Not so much. But still, we've seen a lot worse in the UFC. You've got those. You've also got Arlovsky versus Struve on the show. I think that's a fair booking. Hector Lombard, CB Dalloway. Lombard probably on his last leg in the UFC. Kat Zingano, Caitlin Vieira. That fight could determine a future Cris Cyborg opponent. Beneil Dariush, Bobby Green, that is a good fight. Sean O'Malley and Andre Sukmantat, that's a good fight as well. Mackenzie Dern debuts in the UFC on the show. So there are some storylines. There are some things to look at there. But Cris Cyborg now headlining UFC 222 against Yana Kunitskaya. Frankie Edgar versus Brian Ortega also on that show. We will have a live post-show podcast as well as a preview. If you haven't checked out the Holy Smokes MMA podcast, we also have a preview of this weekend's UFC 221 in a separate video. Go get a little bit of a taste of the Holy Smokes MMA podcast and Fightful's MMA podcasts. Until next time, guys, visit Fightful.com. We are out.